This is part 5 of the loans and credit card. I want to work this problem. The cost of a home is financed with a $160,000 30-year fixed rate mortgage at 4.2%. First, find the monthly payments and the total interest for the loan. Okay, so our payment is equal to $160,000 times the rate over 12, so 0.042 over 12 over 1 minus 1 plus the same thing raised to the negative 12 times 30 years. Okay, now I've already put this part into the memory of the calculator just to save us a little bit of time. Oh, that's going to cause a problem there. And you can see that your payments are about $782. Okay. So that's the amount of payments and the total interest for the loan. So we need to do the number of deposits, which would be 782 times 12 times 30. And the total amount of money you've paid back is $281,520. Then you would subtract off the 160. And so the total interest on the loan is $121,520. Okay. Now for the second part, we're supposed to prepare a loan amortization schedule for the first 3 months of the mortgage. This time we're rounding to the nearest cent. Everything else has been to the nearest dollar. Okay? So, things we need to know. First of all, we need to remember that our payment is $782. That's about to leave the screen. So I'm going to write it down here. That's our monthly payment. Okay. And we also need to figure out how much interest we're being charged every month. Okay, this is an annual interest rate. So the rate we're going to use here, the rate we're going to use for this one, because it's for months, is we're going to take the 0.042 and divide that by 12. So the R value, the interest I'm going to give is 0.0035. And you'll recognize this from part of the formula anyway. So this is the value this is what I'm going to multiply by to find the interest rate. Or you could change this. This is a 0.35% monthly interest rate. It's all the same thing, but that's the number I'm going to be using. That's what I'm going to be multiplying by. Okay, so our beginning balance is, I'll write this down here too, just so we don't lose it. Our initial rate, let's try this again. The amount that we have financed is $160,000. Okay, so to find the amount of interest, what you do is it's going to be I equals PRT, which is simple interest, but this time it's going to be for a month. So for this first one, we figure $160,000, which is the balance of the loan right now, times this, times 1 month. Time is in months right now. Okay? And so you would get 560. Okay? So for this first payment, the amount of interest you are paying is $560. Okay. Now to find out how much of the principal, $560 of my $782 payment went towards the interest. So to figure out what goes for the principal, you need to do 782 minus the 560, and you get $222. So for the principal, $222 went towards that principal. These two values should add back up to your monthly payment for all of these. Okay? Now for the loan balance, we take $222 off of this. So what we have is $160,000 minus $222, which gives us $159,778. So that's what goes right here. Now we repeat this process, but now instead of using the 160, we're going to use this value. Okay, so for month 2, I'm going to do the same calculations, 159,778 times 0.0035 times 1, which is going to give us, we're rounding to the nearest cent, 559.22. Well, not 5. There's no point there, sorry. I don't know why I said that. Notice it's a little bit less in interest. We need to subtract that from the 782. Save some time here. And then you'll get 222.78. So we paid slightly less in interest, slightly more on the principal, and then you subtract this value from that. And you get 159,555.22. And then you repeat. I'm now using this value. If I take the percentage of that, so I have 159,555.22 times 0.0035. Then you get 558.44, which goes here. So I'm paying even less on the interest. Figure out how much must be left to go towards the principal. And when you do that, you get $223.56. Okay, now subtract this from this. And you get 159,331.66. Okay, most of the time these will be provided for you when you get a loan. It is a bit tedious to go through this process, but it's not difficult. And it gives you an idea, just a basic understanding of how loans work, how each successive payment is paying more and more off towards the principal. And if you can manage to make a little bit more, a payment a little bit higher than what you have to, you can really cut down on the amount of money that you're spending. For example, if we look back to the first mortgage payment we did, problem we did here on page 4, I did some back of the notebook calculations, and here our payment was supposed to be $1,255, and it was a 30-year loan, and it cost us all this interest. If instead we had paid just $1,260, an extra $5 a month, you would have this thing paid off in 29 and a half years, and you would save almost $5,800 in interest. So just a tiny bit more when you can afford it can really save you money in the long term.